Hi guys, Colesy. Have you ever thought, I wonder what it would be like to play Portal on an N64? Probably not. It's not a question that popped into my mind personally, but today I bring you Portal on the N64. So this is I was going to say mod. It's not a mod. I don't know whether it's in development, but it has been made, I assume from the ground up, because you're not going to be able to mod Portal onto an N64. But I am running this on an N64 emulator. You can see I can move around and there are portals. Don't be thinking this is a full game. It really, really isn't. It is just this one room. But I like the fact that it's been made and it like shows that I guess this could have been made for the N64, like it works, and we get to play around with it. I am also using an N64 controller because I just felt like that was appropriate, really. So this is the Switch one, so I've Bluetoothed it to the PC and then mapped all the buttons so that it actually feels and plays like Portal would on an N64. This video probably isn't going to be super long because, like I said, this is the only room, but you can see here that we have a portal. Here's the blue one, and here's the orange one. We also have our box, and we have our very low poly world and portal gun and stuff. So I can shoot portals. I mean, there's no sound effects as well, so that's a shame. But I'll add some music in the background so it's not too boring. But using the right bumper, what does the left bumper do actually? Nothing. The left bumper does nothing. Cool. Using the right bumper shoots blue portals, and the trigger on the back of the N64 controller shoots the orange portal, and the portals work. Look, I literally just Portal, when it came out, it was a completely new idea and revolutionary in its puzzle solving, and sometimes it still screws with my mind slightly, but the thought that this could have been run on an N64, like this could have been created for an N64. I mean, I'll put a link in the description to the person who actually made this. I downloaded this from GitHub, so I will put that in the description. I can't remember their name, I'm sorry about that. But like the fact that they've been able to do this and create this that runs on an emulator is super cool. It did make me think the other day. We can pick up the box, by the way. I can just... Oh, we can jump as well. A is jump. Is that A? Yeah, A is jump. I always forget the buttons. And then B, we can pick up the box. And the box actually has, like, physics and stuff. And it can go through portals. Pop the box down a second. And then maybe put the portals in a good place. Maybe, like, one... You can kind of see... I mean, it's not perfect. It's a little glitchy there. There. And then, like, we'll put, like, one... maybe by the side? I don't know. Like there. Okay, then we can... Oh, sorry, I stepped on the box. Then we can pick up this. And look, you can see it. You can see the box. Look, there's 3 of them. I've made 3 boxes. Anyway, like I was saying, I was thinking, I don't know if this exists, but maybe you guys can tell me in the comments if it does exist. Does some sort of like flashable N64 cartridge exist so that you could actually put this on an N64 cartridge and genuinely run it on an N64? Because that sounds like something interesting that I would like to do. So maybe if that does exist, I might need to look into that. I don't know. If not, somebody invent it. So yeah, like, okay, right. Well, I was going to say, look, it works perfectly, but I have bugged it out slightly. I've dropped the box beyond the border. And as you can see, I'm now stood on top of the room. But yes, this is Portal running not on an N64, but as it would on an N64, because obviously I'm having to run this on an emulator, and I think I have broken the game. I'm really breaking the game here. There seems like there's a bit of... Oh no, I don't think that's real. I'm gonna see... Oh no, I can walk beyond... Oh no, I can't. Okay, well, I've fallen. I managed to put a portal on the ceiling. I haven't tried that. Okay, right, hang on. I'm gonna reload the game real quick. Don't mind me. Right, we're back in. Fresh game. Beautiful game. They've put, the portals. There is no... You can't see yourself. That is something I've noticed. Like, if I put the blue portal behind me, I'm not there. And eventually, I assume due to draw distance, the blue portal turns into just a blue oval that's like solid and it doesn't repeat forever, which I assume is a limitation of the N64 like hardware and, you know, specs. I didn't even think about, like, can I put one on the and one on the ceiling and fall? Oh, I can. Yep. No, you can fall forever. Just like, oh my. Oh, I shouldn't do that. That was horrible. Yeah, you can fall forever. This is like really. It's mad to me that this is possible on the N64. That's what's great about this. Like, it's insane to me that you can actually still. You can create such what I would consider. I guess it's not a modern game. Portal is fairly old now, but modern in comparison to an N64. You can create this and it still works. I mean, I don't know how far you'd be able to get with like actually making the puzzles and stuff. Like that's obviously going to be difficult, and like render distance and like the limitations of the N64 itself is going to be a problem. But the fact that this does in fact sort of work is impressive. I would love to see more of this. I don't know whether they're intending on developing any more of this. I think I lost my box. Yep. Control-wise, feels a bit weird, obviously, because when you play Portal, I mean, keyboard and mouse works fine, and maybe like a classic, you know, a good old-timey dual stick controller like the Xbox controller or a PS4 or PlayStation controller in general. Yeah, that might work a bit better, because the fact that you're having to, like, you move with the stick, which sort of makes sense because that's what you do, but you're having to use these 4 C buttons to like look around is weird. Other than that, like the actual, like, the portals being on the right button, the right bumper, and the trigger on the back actually feels very, it makes sense. Like, I know in your brain, or in my brain at least, you'd think like maybe I'd have the orange one on the left bumper because the blue one's on the right bumper. But you don't really hold an N64 controller like that, do you? You kind of... I never really did. You always have one on the stick and then one over here near the buttons. So that means your finger is accessible... Like, the Z is more accessible than this one. So it actually makes much more sense to have the orange portal on that one. It's odd, and it's weird the fact that this works. Oh, did you see? Oh, look at how I've broken it slightly, haven't I? Look at how weird that is. Like, if I back up here, the portal sort of doesn't work, but as I get closer, it does work. This is very weird, and I have lost the box. I don't know where that went. I'm going to assume I dropped it into the void. Like I said, there's not much more I can say. I just find this massively impressive, and I won't blabber on too long because I realise that, you know, you've probably seen it and you've clicked off the video. But don't click off the video, because I really appreciate if you watched it. I mean, I might have to see if I can see if this same person has done any more of this kind of style of things. I like the idea of games being recreated in... I was going to say low poly, but I think I just mean like games created... They're called demakes, aren't they? That's what it's called. I like the idea of games being demade, because it's just cool. It's cool to see how a game would have looked, would have played on a platform that it wasn't released for. And again, I don't know whether this technically would have been able to be made on the N64. Like, again, with the limitations of the cartridges and memory and stuff like that, I don't know whether this would have been possible. I'm sure this one room would have been possible, but when you're talking about making the entire game of Portal, I imagine, no, that wasn't possible. But I mean, physically, you can make Portal on this, but I just don't know if you'd be able to, how much of the game you'd be able to fit onto the N64 and how it would necessarily work. Because as you can see, the render distance here, it seems to be able to do 2 portals, but it can't do more than 2, because then it just goes blue circle. But as you walk through them, it sort of corrects it. It's super impressive though. I mean, you've seen the fact that I've managed to get out of the map that time and fall into the void. So you know that I'm not tricking you, and it's not just multiple rooms sort of stuck next to each other. These portals are actually teleporting me into this one singular room. So they are working. The portals do work and make sense. The UI doesn't really do anything in the middle of the screen. It doesn't tell you whether... Well, I guess it does tell you that there's always a blue and a orange. I can't really get rid of it. Oh, I've really messed that one up. But like, they don't fill in like they do on Portal, and I don't know whether that's just literally could just be a PNG stuck in the middle of the screen for all I know. And the gun is weird looking. Like, if I didn't tell you and I just showed you the gun, you might be able to identify that as the Portal gun. I'm not sure, but it does kind of resemble it. I just really like the fact that this was created, and if it doesn't go anywhere else, it's an interesting little thing to have and to look at. I did know before recording this that there wasn't any more to this. You know, if there'd been maybe a puzzle or two, that would have been better for the video. But I think it was cool to show you anyways. If you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff where I look at, maybe I'll look at more demakes and see if I can find some actual demakes that are more playable than just one singular room. But if you'd like to see that, please let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments as well. And I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.